Hi, I'm Chef Tammy Brawley of the Green Kitchen. Welcome to Heart of the Home, and today I'm here to show you guys a delicious soup using something you're probably not very familiar with, and that is fava beans. Fava beans, I've just learned a little while ago, are also known as a broad bean, and I can certainly understand why. They are somewhat broad in shape and nature. The thing about fava beans, however, though, they do need to be shelled 2 to 3 times, depending on whether or not you get fresh ones or ones in the freezer. I happen to get these in the freezer section of my grocery store, but I did want to show you. I shelled the amount that we need for the soup, but I did leave a couple of unshelled ones. I have read that you may eat the shells, but I'm not really keen on that. So I have one that was frozen, and we thawed it out. I'm going to slit it kind of down the middle a little bit. Just want you to see that you pop that one shell off, and there it is. And that's the shell, the bean that we're using for our soup. Now the fresh ones, they're going to be a little bit more difficult to find in some areas. Some grocery stores, some farmers markets have them. I could only find the frozen ones, and they're perfectly acceptable for all recipes. So I've done 3 there right out of the shell, right into our bowl. And what we're going to do now is we have our pot on, and we're going to add the beans to our pot. Now the recipe says to cook them until they're soft. Well, that would certainly be the case if we were using fresh ones. These are frozen, so they're pretty much kind of already soft, so they're not going to require a lot of cooking time. And we want about a half a cup or so of chicken stock. Not a lot of chicken stock, we don't need that. We're going to hit it with a little bit of salt. And we're going to let that come to a boil. All right, our fava beans and the chicken stock that we've added have softened up quite a bit. Again, using frozen ones, they're not going to take near as long as it would if they were fresh. So we're just going to stir that up a little bit. And we're actually going to move our pot over to close to where I can use a stick blender. We're going to talk about the differences between blenders. This is a hand stick blender that is certainly electric, and it's got, you know, certain speeds on it and everything. This is far easier to use than a regular blender. Now that being said, I know that most people don't have a stick blender, so I'm going to talk about the differences just a little. We could easily move our product into the blender and use it to blend the soup, but there's a couple of different things. One is mainly the safety part of it. If you choose to do it in a regular blender, one, you're going to have to go partially here, then back into a different pot. Then by now you've got 3 things to clean. The other thing is that if you do not vent this, if you put something hot in it, if you do not vent it by removing your little top and you pop that blender on, it's going to explode, trust me. It's happened to me before. And so what you want to do is make sure you protect yourself. Take the top completely off or vent it, as I said. You want to take a towel and put it over the top of that hole. Then you want to pulse your blender, okay, just a little at a time. And that way it helps develop the speed that it needs, but it also keeps the steam down and keeps it from exploding all over you and your ceiling and your counters and such. So that is, if you're going to use any soup or any product in a regular blender, that is the way to do it. Now, my personal favorite kitchen tool that I have is a stick blender, and this keeps me from having to wash 3 pots, and I simply put it in here. This comes apart, just so you know. This part you wash. Obviously, you would not wash the motor. I'm going to put it in here, move it around. Now, what I'm finding here doing this is that the fava beans are somewhat thick. I could have probably added, maybe should have, more chicken stock, but I know that I'm also getting ready to add heavy cream to this recipe. So I'm actually going to go ahead and just add a little heavy cream to help balance out the liquid consistency of it. It's starting to blend quite nicely. You can pick it up and move it around. And I'm almost finished. You can see from the texture that it is just about done. I'm going to go ahead and add the remaining heavy cream that I had noted for the recipe. All right, this looks beautiful. Nice warm soup for the cold temperatures that we're having. Oh, that's delicious. Goodness. Now I'm going to chop up some chives. You know, just about any sort of garnish you wanted to put on top of this would be nice. Chopped parsley would be great. So we have a bowl here. We're going to take our soup. All right, top that with some chives right on top, nice little garnish. Oh, this is beautiful. And there you have it. I'm Chef Tammy Brawley from the Green Kitchen. This is fava bean soup. Join us next time on Heart of the Home.
Recipes from the Heart of the Home can be found on the Virginia Farm Bureau website at vafb.com/recipes, as well as on Chef Tammy Brawley's website at greenkitchenrichmond.com.